Very edges of the void. But this one is special. It's the place where my throat was cut 4,000 years ago. This is where my life ended, and where it began again. It's where they made me.
This part of the void feels older.
Right up until the end, I thought I'd find a way to escape. I fought, but the rooms only cut my skin, so I went limp. And then the knife touched my throat, and I knew I'd waited too long. The blood ran out, and I became a god. Now you know Delilah's secret. At the end of her days, she drifted through the void and should have been lost forever. But her will and cunning are second to none. She found this place, the island in the void where I became what I am. It changed her, and she discovered a way to draw from it, tapping into the power here. Delilah is a part of me now, and I don't like it. You have to give Delilah credit. She tore out a piece of herself and hid it away, inside a thing made of bones. She's made herself immortal. If you want to kill Delilah, you're going to have to find her spirit and give it back to her. Reaching it won't be easy, but what comes after that might be the hardest thing you will ever have to do.
Is full of secrets. All right, back to the skiff. Sokolov should be waiting.
Why'd they slow down flow 4? Did Marco say?
Apparently the family committee made a request. Too much dust was pissing down.
At least Stilton listens to them. More than I can say for the Grand Guard.
Yeah, the Duke is rotten and it spreads out from there. But Airman Stilton is a good man.
I'll tell him you said that. He drinks at my brother's pub.
He knows we appreciate him. Karnaca has problems, but it could be a lot worse here in this district.
Oh, we've been able to keep the shift hours at 10. Anything longer and miners make mistakes. Without Stilton's support, this district would have fallen into anarchy by now.
There's word that by next month, everyone in the mines will be issued one of Stilton's new air masks. Things could be worse, I guess.
If you would approve of a new ventilation shaft,
This is the Duke of Circos.
more air means less.
At the request of Airman Stilton, I'm told I need to present another set of awards to critical mine workers this month. Is it for safety? Certainly not productivity this time. You should all thank Stilton. The only one of you lazy ingrates worth anything. Back to work, all of you!
Up for a beer later? You bet.
Workers from all across across the Empire. Every city represented.
Lucia Pastor, right? You deserve thanks for helping the people here.
Considering who you are, I don't know whether to feel honored that you recognize me, or to yell at you for propping up the Duke while he's shitting all over Serkonos.
And who do you think I am?
I'm not stupid. Whether the newspapers and the posters in the street are right or wrong, I know who you are. And I hope you're here to end Luca Abella's tyranny. Either way, we haven't been sitting around waiting for you to clean up your mess.
Sounds like you have a plan.
No, nothing that solid. Not yet. But I believe the Duke will fall, eventually. All I can say is that when you reach the Grand Palace, just be aware that not everyone there is your enemy. Trust your judgment.
All right. I'll remember that.
Anyway, good luck. There's still a chance to make something new here in Karnaca. Something that serves everyone, not just some rapacious bastard with a title. There's always so much to do, so little time to think. The mining families in the district work as hard as the miners. Kids to feed, sick people to care for, homes to run. The families we represent are very poor, but aren't afraid of hard work. Good people.
Stilton agreed to a meeting with the woman heading up the family committee. What's her name again?
Lucia Pastor. She's supposed to talk to Stilton soon about new safety rules for the mines. Fewer hours for the children working down there, too.
Why does Pastor care in the first place? She isn't one of us. Never seen her carrying a pick or a shovel.
There's a rumor that she was in love with a miner. Someone who died in an accident. They say his body's still under the mountain, buried in silver.
I think Lucia Pastor just has a good heart and a strong will.
Well, if Stilton listens to what she has to say, instead of following every idiotic request coming from the Grand Palace, I won't complain.
Stilton's not a bad man. I bet things would be a lot worse without him running the mines.
The Duke would be grinding the families here into nothing if he was left unchecked. It's good to know that some people care about what's going on in the mines.
With the city at the edge of disaster, it's taken everything we've got to maintain decent conditions in the mines. Duke Abella's nothing like his father. We'd be at his mercy without Stilton.
It's a hot one, that's for sure.
Maybe no one will even notice, but things have changed here for the better.
Get what's coming to him, Megan. Leaders rise and fall. Even the greatest...
You're back. That was quick. Sorry I couldn't take you to see Stilton myself. But I guess you found the place. Years back, Stilton was always quiet about the Duke. And never figured out just why. Lucky for the miners,
It must have been
Aramis
strange for you to
Stilton
be
does
back
all he
here,
can
Corvo.
against the Duke's
Changed by
destructive
time,
ways.
Yet still the same. Are you ready to leave? The dust is wreaking havoc on my throat.
Yes. I found a way to get around Paolo and Byrne, and I've been to Stilton's house. Let's go. Duke Luca Abel tore down the original palace in Karnaca, where his father once pinned a medal to my chest. Over the ruins, the Duke built a structure that cost enough to feed everyone in Serkonos for years. A sprawling estate to humble all others, a monument to his ego. I owe it to the people of my homeland to make this right. In Dunwall, we were content to look the other way as long as the silver kept flowing. I've got to get inside the Grand Palace, deal with the Duke, and find a way to steal Delilah's soul.
Can you feel it? This is my last night. Soon, I'll dissolve into the great nothing.
You deserve peace, my love.
I've stayed too long. Find Delilah's spirit. Trap her with this cage of dead flesh. Set me free.
I don't understand.
You will, very soon.
Long for someone to go after the Duke. Another aristocratic boss, living in a palace and sucking the marrow out of the same people who built it.
Yes, I regret my affiliation with the young Duke, but his father and I were close. It was my hope that Luca would eventually grow up and learn that his actions as ruler of Serkonos have very real consequences.
He could always count on the backing of Dunwall's finances and navy. Maybe without that, he would have developed a healthy respect for the people of Serkonos. Fear of the Executioner's block has been a fine motivator for many a ruler.
Once the Duke falls, it's my hope that we can build something better here. Something more representative and inclusive.
Are you ready for this?
I've broken into palaces before. They're made to keep out armies. Stopping a single man who's dedicated to his cause, that's another story altogether.
Getting inside might not be the hard part. The Duke doesn't exactly run a tight ship.
Taking down Duke Abel is only part of the puzzle. You've also got to find whatever it is he's keeping for Delilah.
You were cryptic about what you gleaned from visiting the Dust District, which is fine. The world is better with a hint of mystery. But once you're inside the Grand Palace, whatever you do could affect things in Karnaca for years to come. Remember that.
I've got a map of the Grand Palace for you, and I know something that may be useful. There's a hidden lever in the pantry that opens a passage to the Duke's vault. If he's keeping anything precious for Delilah, I suspect that's where it'll be. Beyond that, good hunting.
I'll see what I can do. I know things in Karnaca are fragile. Emily and I have a lot to think about after all this is done.
Meet me at the skiff.
I hope I've been of some help to you. It's good to feel useful. Here near the end of my time. Look at you.
Huh?
You've aged better than most, Royal Protector. I hear the Duke's wine cellar is exquisite, if you happen to pass through. I remember when you took me from Kaldwin's Bridge so long ago.
It's not widely known, but the Duke has a body double. The man is the spitting image of Luca. A likable fellow, and quite humble. I've no idea where they found him, but the Duke's double has spent years passing for the Duke. I suppose Luca always hoped his double would be there to take an assassin's bullet. Take care. I hope to see you again.
Now that things have changed, Stilton might be able to make a difference after the Duke falls. Paolo had ambitions, all fallen to pieces now. I never liked the Abbey. I guess Duke Abel felt all right tearing down the old palace. I have fond memories of that place.
Once offered me a suite at Dunwall Tower, complete with a laboratory and the finest apparatus in the Isles. I declined, of course. I'm not some conjurer from penny novels. Besides, I have a great fondness for my privacy, and my interests often find me coming and going in the odd hours of night. It's hard not to consider what might have been different had I plotted a different course than my early years. Was there something I might have said or done when Delilah was my apprentice that could have prevented all this? Or is character a fixed star we must all follow in darkness?
Going after the one who started it all. The Duke himself. I forgot the thrill of it. Planning drop-off points, picking the approach. Thinking about the best ways to kill somebody who lives behind high walls. But with the excitement, there's a black echo that comes back to me for what I did at Dunwall Tower. If anyone deserves killing, though, it's Duke Luca Abel. I've loved a number of women, and even a couple of men. But I've never loved anyone like my Deirdre. After I left home, those first years on the streets, she's all that kept me from the bottom of the river. I could sleep on a pile of garbage under a leaky awning as long as she was there with me. Sharing a tin of potted meat or a bottle of brandy that we nicked during the day. The Duke and his little brother came through Dunwall. And Deirdre and I got in their way as they stepped out of their fancy coach. The Duke goaded his brother, calling us wharf roaches. And it was the brother who swung the stick that killed her. Splitting her skull, there were wooden gazelles on top of the coach. And I snapped one off and drove it into his eye, as deep as it would go. Deirdre was already gone. Dead as a doornail. Lying in the muck, staring up at the gray Dunwall sky. On the run after that. I was hunted by the City Watch and even members of the Grand Guard up from Zirkonos. People looked at me like I was cursed, spitting whenever I got close. Everyone knew I'd bring trouble. Even the gangs. The Duke's brother has been dead for a long time. But now's my chance to get back at Luca Abel for setting him off against pretty, young Deirdre. Nothing was the same for me after they took her away.
Should we head toward the palace?
Let's go.
At the palace, the Duke has a lookalike body double, meant to confuse assassins. A friend of mine washes the linens and said the double is a smoker, if that helps. Maybe you can talk to him. She says he's a nice guy. What a shitty job, pretending to be a tyrant like Duke Luca Abel.
Why don't they just overthrow him?
He's got an army, control of the mines, and he's had your support from the capital. At the Duke's parties, people carve up the country while eating boiled crab.
There were parties like that in Dunwall. Toadies sucking up to Emily made me want to be back on the streets in Serkonos.
You're forgetting what that's like. I watched those party lights from the roof of the abandoned butcher shop where I slept, in the flooded district.
I know you struggled. After years at court, I'm a nobody again. But what I've seen here will stay with me when I return to Dunwall Tower. Being in Karnaca again has given me perspective.
Good. After you've eliminated the Duke, find what he's holding for Delilah and take it. When you're finished, I'll pick you up in the skiff. Sorry if I sound bitter. Don't turn your back on the Duke. After we leave Karnaca, there are some things we need to talk about. Things I feel remorse over. I know not everyone who lives in a great palace is a snake. But it's real easy to get accustomed to eating off silver plates. If you figure out which one is the Duke's double, you might want to see what he knows. You wouldn't believe it. But I could have ended the Duke a long, long time ago. Wish I had now. If something happens and you don't make it back, I might have a go at Duke Abel. When this is done, we leave Karnaca at once. I won't be sorry to leave this city. I've done all I can here. I've earned what I've got, even the scars. Especially the scars. Take care of yourself. We'll be there when you're ready.
Gotta get where it's going. That's why they call it the black market. Can't just sit here. Too much chance a Grand Guard catches on to us, or maybe rightful owners coming to pick it up.
What's the delay getting it to the shop? Bet you afraid we'll get caught?
The guy that runs the shop is nervous. But if they just let us move it straight off the boat. Now, I got a friend over at the shop. Been running protection for black market shops for years here in Karnaca and over at Colorado. So there's basically no risk.
What's your friend's name?
That's a secret. These guys deal with me and nobody else. Job security.
Just once, I'd like to see her buy the drinks. Just one time. Who is fooling around?
Hey, you. You seem different. Can you help me out with a bit of coin? You're a good one. You know, there's a place near here, in some rocks behind a fountain. People have always left offerings there. That's where I started having those odd dreams. I don't go there anymore. You might want to check it out. I used to live here a long time ago. Can you believe it? Was a songwriter. Poet. Sorcery, they said. They burned my books and they hit me in the head until there were no more visions. I used to have such visions. Dreams of black oceans and whales in the sky overhead. See you sometime.
See? I told you! Now we're getting somewhere!
No, you bastard!
Yes. Outsider's crooked car! Now we're getting somewhere!
See, I told you.
There's no such permit, Captain. I know the laws in Karnaca.
Laws change. The Duke's given the Grand Guard leeway to create new fees when needed. You know who else had a nice shop? That clockmaker.
Serafina? Her shop burned down.
Yeah, my report said it was probably the Howlers. But no one knows how the fire started.
Captain, her brother died in that fire.
Asleep inside, drunk from what I remember. You've got until tomorrow to pay up.
Hello there. You find yourself in the most reputable safe shop in Karnaca. I'm not supposed to say so, but the Duke's cousin got his safes here. Who needs more than one safe, you might wonder? Well, in this world, either you don't need a safe, or you need several. That's how it is. Sorry, but that's not an area for customers.
We're playing dice tonight. You in?
Isn't it dinner time yet? Man could starve on this shift.
No.
interesting get-up you have there, covering your face.
Owen up. I got the code, but it's back on the phone.
No exceptions. Either you have the code, or I assume something's off. My boss's orders.
Damn, open this door.
You know I won't do this. You're wasting time.
Dust everywhere, no matter what you do.
Let's see what this says.
That ignore the tides, fake boat manifests, and private door codes. Might be easier just to play it straight. Pick up and deliver goods. Anyway, so I don't forget it, the code for the black market shop is Zirconin wine is better than Tivian prisons. Idiots.
People here aren't as keen on charity now that times are hard. See you sometime.
No, you
Your
bastard!
face is covered. The Grand Guard won't.
You're back at the heart of your homeland. A bigger, better palace than the one you sailed away from so long ago. Feeling nostalgic? Will you ever be comfortable in Dunwall again? Assuming you make it back? You've seen the suffering here, the decay, but, dear Corvo, would you even have lifted a finger if the Duke hadn't put Emily in harm's way? Be honest now. In any case, I know what you're after. The heart you carry can only hold one spirit at a time. So, if you want to walk out with a piece of Delilah, you better be ready to leave something behind.
Stone and wine is better than Tivian prisons.
And better Crystolian clap than Morellian gout. All right. Top of a building half infested with blood flies.
You can tell it's for good, just by looking at his shoes.
I work unloading fish. I'd be out on the boats, but I've got a weak stomach.
To hear them talk. They're called lower class for a reason. Low, lower, lowest. And the streak.
What's the matter? You look pissed off.
Yeah, you bet I am. I just got the answer about my transfer inland. Relocation denied.
Look on the bright side. The pay is better here than anywhere else, and we get to do the job how we see fit. Nobody's pestering us with forms and procedures anymore. We collect the fees we want, and give out the beatings when they're needed.
I just don't want my kids growing up here. It's too dangerous.
Then reapply next month. The command staff changes constantly. New officers, new rules. And spread a few coins here and there among the officers.
I'm hungry.
locker before coming out.
I miss swimming. I was good, you know. Some of us used to give lessons at Addermeyer, back when it was open to the public. Different city in those days.
Didn't know that. Man, you sure had a lot of different jobs.
Guess so. I don't miss brining hagfish. Hands in salt all day, nails bleeding, choking on the factory air.
At least when you joined the Grand Guard, you got a really soft position near the palace.
You might change your mind about that after you've been here a while. Sometimes the Duke's friends do some strange shit.
Really? Like what?
One night, someone up there decided it'd be funny to throw down food at us. I got hit in the face with a pineapple. Then a whole roasted pig came down and split the boat in half. It was raining apples and meat pies. All sorts of nice food floating around in the water.
Damn, people in the city starving. Life's just not the same when you live up there, is it?
Maybe I can find another way to neutralize the Duke.
No, not at all. But how do you know which one is the Duke? I don't know where they found that guy with the political decoy job, but he looks and acts just like the Duke. I can't tell them apart.
There are subtle differences.
All right. Assuming you can pick out Duke Luca, how are we gonna get his key?
You leave that to me. Who knows what he's got in that vault? We'll be halfway to Bristol and rich before he's nursing the next day's hangover.
Yeah, that's a good plan, the way this place is run. And you're sure he always keeps the key with him?
I'm sure. We'll do it tomorrow night when there's only one squad scheduled for patrol. Just be ready.
Who's assigned to protect the Duke's quarters tonight?
Nope. As long as it's not me, I don't care. It's never any fun.
I'm not sure who's worse, the Duke or his body double. One's half likely to have you flogged for looking at him wrong. The other might just bore you to death.
C, D, E, and G. H, G.
The Duke kept some of the clockwork soldiers for himself.
Air feels heavy.
It must be nice to be on the Duke's payroll.
One tray at a time. I'm only human. One tray. Do they think there are two of me?
New machines and new ideas. Create the finest foods and my guests in the grand...
The old woman living in the alley behind my apartment died the other night, did I tell you? The Grand Guard took her yarn shop, thanks to one of the Duke's new decrees, and her drinking will was tainted.
That's why you don't get invited to half the parties I attend. Such gloomy thoughts.
We've been playing every day for weeks now. All of this to entertain a statue?
Someone said the Duke believes Empress Delilah can talk to him through the statue.
Well, if he's trying to pull off some witchcraft love trick, he's doing it wrong. And I can't feel my fingertips anymore.
So disappointed, it's not about merit. The inner circle is packed with the Duke's pets.
Lickspittles. At least I'm not one of them.
Exactly. And think, when all this fighting over thrones is settled, the Duke's going to need men to take charge in the Northern Isles. By this time next year, you could be in charge of Windown, or Freeport.
Where even the most desirable have skin like pale slugs.
That's what the brandy's for.
I was pretty sure I'd...
Kiss and crackers.
You have to understand. I'm going to call for help if you don't go.
Spend hours just looking across the bay.
You won't see any whales this far south. They like the colder, deeper water.
We get a few, but not today. Besides, I'm more interested in the occasional boat, or maybe catching a glimpse of something going on at Addermire.
This is the life, isn't it? Being a friend of the Duke's has its advantages.
My mother's old money. So, to tell you the truth, it's the only life I've known.
Be on your way, now!
What was the bet again? Did you say you could hit him in the head? Or that you could avoid hitting him?
No idea. Too drunk to remember. Anyway, he's not moving anymore, so maybe I killed him.
Or maybe he fainted. Let's bet something else. See if he wakes up when you hit him in the leg.
Sure, I'm in.
playing dice tonight. You in?
No, I don't think so. People don't hide their faces
I'm going
unless
to call
they're
for
up to
help.
something bad.
Someone look.
If the old Duke could only see this. Wasteful expense, wanton flesh.
And such terrible wines. At least he knew better than to serve Tyvian with hagfish.
Joke if you want to. Our new Duke spends more in 1 month than his father spent in a year. Old Theodanis Abel was tight with the coin.
Why worry? When the war is done, we'll have it back tenfold in tribute. This is the Circonan age, my friend. The age of Luca Abelli. Enjoy it.
The old Duke?
The old Duke was wise. Yes, the old Duke was careful, but the new Duke dragged the Empress off her throne and gave us the Isles. So tell me, who's the better man? Why should I trust someone who hides their face? I can't do anything for you. You better
Be on your way, now!
What would you do if you were the Duchess of Serkonos or some other ruler? The Queen of Morley or even the Empress?
More of what I already do. Screwing, eating fine meals, smoking the best haverweed. And when I wasn't doing that, I'd be buying exotic furniture from Tivia, having my apartments redecorated.
So you wouldn't really change much?
No, of course not. What's the point of having power if you can't just do whatever you want?
It's impossible to get good help these days.
I don't recognize
You have to understand. I'm going to call for help if you don't go.
Such a twingy back.
Ask her where she had her silver embroidered jacket made.
Jessamine had one. In the evening, she'd sit and play.
fix things in Karnaca.
Sometimes a man just needs time by himself. My responsibilities weigh upon me. No offer to bow or kiss my hand.
I'm not that kind of visitor.
A mystery. Let's have it then. Who are you and what do you want?
You're the Duke's double, aren't you? I'm here to take him down, but I might need your help. Do you want to listen to what I have to say?
All right, you've figured it out. But if you're not here to assassinate the Duke, what do you want?
I have no doubt that you'd be a more agreeable Duke than Luca Abel. If I wanted to depose him without having to cut out his heart, could you convince people that you're the Duke?
That's bold. I have to admit it's crossed my mind. If people believed that I was actually Duke Abel, and that he was the political decoy, we could have him committed for lunacy. We could convince everyone that the Double's finally lost his mind and believes he's the Duke. I've spent years perfecting my performance. But there's a catch. He's got a medallion that I need. Even if I sound convincing, which should be the easy part, his Grand Guard officers will ask to see the medallion as proof. Luca never puts it aside.
All right. It shouldn't take me long. Once it's done, I'll be leaving the city. Soon after, I'll send instructions from Dunwall, and I'll expect a great deal of flexibility and cooperation on your part. There's still time to pull Serkonos back from the edge of the cliff. We can undo the damage Duke Abel has inflicted.
I'd like that. But I'll guide Serkonos in the ways I see fit for the people here, not as the hand-chosen puppet of your empire. If you agree with that, just render the Duke unconscious and bring him to his chambers. I'll handle the rest. Don't raise an alarm. You've got to keep things calm for this to work. Honestly, if you would have killed Luca, the Grand Guard probably would have hung me anyway. There's so much that could be done from this palace. So many things that could be better. I never thought this would happen. It's exciting. But remember, to make this work, you've got to be stealthy. Get the Duke, bring him to his room, and be careful about it. Don't raise a ruckus. Huh?
This playback indicates that the machine is waking up.
Were you successful at lowering the cost of clockwork soldier production? The Duke is expecting a reduction of 80 to 90% based on your own estimates.
She let me keep a few of them in a jar. I pulled off their legs.
That's interesting. Let me remind you, as Grand Inventor, you've been given everything you requested. But with that comes a responsibility for deadlines, an expectation of progress.
Wait. I remember the undertaking you're talking about now. Yes.
Excellent. So what can I tell the Duke?
I had a visitor, I think. Or maybe they came for Sokolov. It's hard to recall the details. Anton wouldn't help, but I was close to finding a way to... The difference engine is inscribed in copper along the concave surface of the inner head mechanism. Wait. I can't. It slips away. The beetles we found today, I'm going to give them all names.
This is useless. What am I gonna tell Duke Luca?
Duke Luca Abel.
Sometimes a man just needs time by himself. My responsibilities weigh upon me. You're not one of Delilah's. Are you here about my new boots, perhaps? I want them redone.
Just some little bit of excitement once in a while.
Don't look so disappointed. It's not about men. The inner circle is packed with the Duke's pets.
Lickspittles. At least I'm not one of them.
Exactly. And think, when all this fighting over thrones is settled, the Duke's going to need men to take charge in the Northern Isles. By this time next year, you could be in charge of Winddown or Freyport.
Where even the most desirable have skin like pale slugs.
That's what the brandy's for.
That mask is an impertinence. Show some respect in your Duke's presence. No offer to bow or kiss my hand?
I'm not that kind of visitor.
A mystery. Let's have it then. Who are you and what do you want?
Luca, I knew your father, and he'd approve of what I'm about to do to you. Your crimes against the rightful Empress can't be forgiven.
I assure you, there is only one true Empress in my heart, and her name is Delilah.
I bet this opens the Duke's vault.
When I first met with my inner circle, I saw nervous faces. Even the boldest were afraid, wondering if we'd live to see another feast. Now Serkonis is ascendant, but this is a story that began long years before. I knew Delilah when I was only a boy, and even after she was lost, dead, and gone from the world, her memory burned in my mind. Until finally I began to hear her whispering, calling to me from the void. Telling her story of growing up in Dunwall Tower, and the half-sister who cheated her of her throne. Then she told me there was a way to bring her home. Delilah. Beautiful. immortal.
Delilah Copperspoon.
He is nothing like his father. Another tedious meeting. Endless complaints from the miners about the conditions below. He signs the papers to hurry things along, barely glancing at them. Oh, how his writing hand cramps. His brother died on the dirty streets of Dunwall, struck down in his youth. Even living in the Grand Palace and taking his food from silver plates, he is unhappy. Schools, travel, and mentors. His father gave him every opportunity, but it was never enough. She is more than a lover to him. He counts the moments until he sees her again. The advisors surrounding him are handpicked for their ability to run the silver mines beyond capacity. He avoids those who once worked in the mines. As the building lost to bloodflies, he sees the city thick with their nests, empty of people, but only after he's faded from the world. Those who toady on him are only tolerable because they free him from the constant whining demands that pile up at his feet. Have I not already told you everything about him?
Put him there, on the bed.
All right.
That's it then. Now it's up to me. I'll take the medallion and call them.
I'll be watching. Break a leg.
Don't worry. I've spent years mimicking this asshole. Captain Almeida, come at once to my chambers. There's a problem. Quick, hide up there.
Your Eminence, are you all right?
Yes, Captain. Please arrest this clown. Seems that he took his role a little too seriously. Get your hands off me! He served me well for years. We'll never find anyone else who so bears my resemblance. Take him away, Captain, but be gentle.
I think I understand, Your Eminence. We'll handle it.
What? This is outrageous. I'll have you all skinned alive and set in a salt bath. If only there was something we could do for him. I suppose all those years pretending he was me, that eventually took its toll. No! Stop! I am the Duke of Circurus! You can't do this!
Dr. Hypatia at Adamire will know what to do with the poor man.
I'm still trying to get my head around this. It's incredible. It'll be dicey for a while because I may be missing a few details. As quickly as I can, I'll turn over the palace guard. That will help cover me. Once you're off for Dunwall, I'll wait for your messages. I'll need all the help I can get turning this around. Huh?
The paperwork tires his eyes, but he reads. hates it all. After his duties are done, he'll enjoy a quiet moment on the balcony with a cigar. There was a woman he loved, but she was identified as a risk, and he never saw her again. It sickens his spirit, seeing such riches squandered. He looks up at the statues and wonders whether anyone will remember him. In nightmares, assassins come for him. He begs them to see the truth. See how he sighs? His life is a gilded cage. He's thinking about his walk, the way he dresses and speaks. Everything must appear correct. His face is on all the coins minted in Serkonos over the last 5 years. He would have amounted to nothing, and still might, but he has unexpected potential. He would have amounted to nothing, and still might, but he has unexpected potential.
People of Karnaca, this is Corvo Attano, Royal Protector for your rightful ruler, Empress Emily Kaldwin. I'm here in the city of my birth to set things right with the Duke of Serkonos, Luca Abel, who has of late been deceived by the pretender to the imperial throne, Delilah Copperspoon. Duke Abel and I are old friends, and in his heart he is a loyal ally and servant to the Empire. I'm Serkonan, and your blood flows through my veins. I will leave you and return to Dunwall, but know this. We have parleyed, and the Duke now understands the crisis in full. My hope is to restore your true Empress to the throne with haste. I bid you farewell, and ask you to maintain your faith and loyalty to the Empire.
Hoped I'd see the other isles. I've heard the wages in Tivia are twice what we make here.
Weeks of puking up hardtack on a ship just to freeze your ass off in some northern port? Besides, we make more here in Karnaca with on-the-spot taxes and fees.
Maybe. It is nice having discretionary jurisdiction here. Less paperwork. But think about it. No blood flies, no howlers.
You don't think they have gangs up in Tivia? It's dark for half the year up there. Trust me, you're better off here.
Taste it off. That weren't no blue-jawed hagfish. River crust is more likely.
Let's see what Duke Abel keeps hidden away in here. vault.
Idling. Commence lens refocus. Make a note. Remove display back after the final field test. General detection state. With display. The machine should begin scouting the vicinity.
This is the thing Ashworth made to hold Delilah's spirit.
This is it. You must release me from this dead vessel. Only then will you be able to trap Delilah's spirit.
Jessamine, your spirit comforts me. How can I let you go?
I've given you all I can, my love. Tried to guide you. Now our daughter will need you.
Be at peace, my dear Empress. Star of my sky.
Corvo, your eyes, your hands, your heart. With my last thought,
That it's done. Now it's time to return to Delilah's.
This, the heart of my half-sister? Only her flesh remains.
Maybe Delilah's spirit was holding it together.
Jessamine's gone at last, faded into nothing. Her reward is peace.
You will never gain back what you lost here.
She gave you her heart, and you threw it into the void. I inhabit two impossible places at once. The prison of dead flesh, after a prison of bones. You will take me back and die at my hands.
Old scars run deep, don't they, Luca? Delilah Copperspoon.
Saw something?
Take our guests out for mushroom gathering.
Let's ask the land agent to re-inspect the riverside drains.
Marvelous. I'm game if you are.
That should do it.
I saw the signal.
So, is that it? The fall of Karnaca?
The Duke's had a change of heart. Things are shifting.
Back to the dreadful whale, then, and on toward Dunwall.
It looks that way. To find a way to help Emily, and to give her back the throne.
Ready, then?
I'm ready if you are.
All right. As you want.